Okay. We are pleased and happy to introduce to you, I am, today our guest speaker, Roger Cunningham. You all probably, I can't imagine there's anybody in this room that doesn't know, and we'll even tuck you in. Roger started the bed store based on a philosophy that was shared with him by his grandmother, Pearl, who would go the extra mile for her customers at her small motor court in the early 1960s, and I'm sure Roger will share some of that with you. He's carried that attitude and that philosophy on. Even though the bed store has lots of options when you walk in the door, I think Roger will tell you that the most important brand is the customer. And the patients and the families and those we serve in our community, we feel like they are our customers. So as many things in life that we have no control over, the good Lord allowed us to come in contact with Roger in this special sort of way. And Roger is kind enough to publicly address his journey and his involvement in the UT Cancer Institute, and he will even tuck you in. So Roger.
Good afternoon. I do 30-second commercials and 2-hour sermons. They've given me 10 minutes. So I've got notes for all of our protection. I want to start out by, it was wonderful what I just saw, and looking up and seeing the people that were, everybody that was just up here was there for us. And I don't want to give away what I'm going to say in just a second, but I want to thank Dr. Bell. I want to thank, I've told him this personally, I've told Renee, I've told Ann, I've told their staff. Amazing, just amazing, amazing people. And I have some things I want to say about them. I won't say it by name at that point. But I've never been, I have zero desire to, I like the highway by this place. Just keep going. I have visited, we visit church members and friends, and I try to get in, get out, get on my way. I call that the little chilly deal, just get past this place. I've come to love it. I have come to respect it. I can't pass by it now without some great memories, because I know people in here, and that staff that just stood up here is second to none. Let's give them a hand. I'm honored to be asked to share. I come willingly, but at the same time, very humbly. I don't understand why I get to do this, but I don't take it lightly. I'm representing you. I just met a good friend of mine, and when I moved here in '83, him and I worked together. I hadn't seen him since then, and he looks like he's got a special gene. He hasn't aged at all, and I've aged tremendously. But Ben Reagan, and he's been through your institution. You've healed him. It's just beautiful. And I met a young lady, I can't remember her name, sat next to her. She came here from Michigan for a sister. And you've been hospitable, you've done a great job. But it's a dedicated staff, and I'm here with a grateful heart. I'm here very, very humble. And I'm aware that I need to be a voice for all of us. And we're here, as I understand it, to celebrate. And I'm not much of a partier, but this would be a party that I would attend. And in fact, I have a party going on at my house right now for our staff of, we call it Team Tuck, and for what they do for people, and I'm so proud of them. And so I want their kids and their families to get together and have fun. So they're out having fun, and they send their love, by the way. And they graciously, actually they were awful willing to get rid of me. I don't know what that was. But I don't take it lightly, and I want to speak to us, survivors. I want to speak to our healers. I want to speak to our family members, and I hope I don't leave anybody out. And this is special. This is a special celebration. Before I get started, though, I want to just take a moment of silence. I want to think about the people that went before us or went along with us that didn't make it. That's a theme that I had a hard time wrapping my mind around when I was here, watching people. I never really felt like anything was happening bad to me, but watching people go through what we've been through, go through what you've been through at any level of this, and fighting so hard, and those people not making it. I was always overwhelmed by that. The positive note to that is this institution is dedicated to fixing that. And actually, Dr. Bell and I talked about it, and he's got a great sense of humor about it. That he's trying to work himself out of a job, and all of these wonderful people that were just up there, actually, they'll have to get a different kind of job maybe one day. And I think they would like that, and we would like that. Like I said, we'll address that. But just if you will, just take a moment of silence, and I want you to think about, and I want to thank those that went before us, and those families that fought just as hard as our families fought, and those caretakers that fought just as hard for them as they fought for us. And just remember that for just a second. Cancer, the C word, something that you never want to hear. I was coming back from visiting a friend in Florida. I knew I had something wrong with me, wasn't sure what it was. I thought I had swallowed a real baby, a real complainer. And I thought I had swallowed a popcorn kernel. I love popcorn. And, but I thought it was in my throat and I couldn't get it out. And I had tried all kinds of imaginative ways to do it. I have a wonderful doctor, Dr. Reeves, and I talked to him about it. And he said, you're healthy as you can be. You're a picture of health. And anybody tells you that, run, right? The blood works good, you look good, sound good, and you're healthy. And anyway, I had one of my ENTs look at me, and you're a picture of health. Look good. You're not very attractive, but you look good. What you got to work with. And so he's got a great sense of humor. And anyway, so that's good. Gave me medication. He said, maybe it's an allergy. Just, work on it. In the meantime, I kept trying to figure out how many ways you can get your finger up in that area trying to fix those things. And I'm not very good at that. Not mechanically inclined, not medically inclined. That's why I do what I do. So I get on a plane, head to Florida to visit a friend, and get down and have a great time. Get lots of hospitality. Get a hot Krispy Kreme donut right before I get on the plane, which was incredible. Highlight of my life. I love it. And as fortune would have it, for me, unfortunate for him, another ENT that's not my ENT, he's sitting next to me, and I sell him a bed, wearing a slap out, and we get ready to land in Knoxville. And I said, by the way, what do you do? I'm just trying to figure out, can he pay for this bed? And he said that he was an ENT, and I said, well, I named my ENT, and he said, oh, he's one of the best. He said, great. And I said, well, let me run something by you. So I told him the story I just told you, and he said, you need to have him scope that. Did he scope that? I said, I don't know what that means, but I was in a machine, and he looked at it, and I remember a great big popsicle stick down my throat and all that kind of stuff. I said, yeah, he looked at it. He said, well, ask him to scope it. And I said, well, where's your office? And he told me they're both 8 miles from my house. So I turned right to go to one, turned left to go to the other. So it's a different direction in life. Turned left, went. I've never seen, happy-go-lucky gentleman, very, very good at what he does, but I've never seen somebody's face change so fast. Where I'm joking with him, which is my nature, and all of a sudden his face, it's the most concerned look I ever saw. And I heard the words, you have cancer. Actually, he didn't say that. He said, oh my. He said, you're going to need an oncologist. Thank you, Dr. Pinella. I thought, I've heard that word before. Isn't that associated with the other word? So I used the word first. I said, so are you saying oncologist as in cancer? And he said, yes. So I'm thinking, well, God is my witness. Good. That's good. Might as well be me. They say 1 in 4 people get it. I really haven't studied it much up to this. I had some dealings with it through the Pink Tie guys, through Jane. I had a friend that went through it. Jane helped coach her through it, and helped coach me through it. And that was my foray into cancer. I had a passive role in it. I prayed, I cared, but I didn't have any of the heavy lifting. I didn't have to do any of the work. I can tell you I was as empathetic as I knew how to be, but not nearly as empathetic as I am now. And you know what I mean here. So anyway, long story short, tonsils out. I know I look 20, but I'm 60. It's not fun to have your tonsils out at 59 years old, or 58 years old, and I don't guess it's ever fun. But I didn't want the ice cream, I didn't want anything. I mean, it's not a pleasant thing. And then I was introduced to this incredible, this amazing University of Tennessee Cancer Institute. Hardest thing for me was telling my wife. So I want to shoot through. I'm going to use my notes now because, like I said, 30 seconds or 2 hours. So here you go. Here's what cancer. I looked this up. I tried to get lots of thoughts. I tried to talk to friends that I had it, to some of my caregivers, and here it is. It's an opportunity. It's a gift. It's a chance to expand our capacity to love, to open our hearts, to be grateful for every second, for every single breath that we take, for every restored relationship, for every new friendship, and for reacquainting ourselves with what's really important in life. Thought I had a handle on that, but I realized that I didn't. It's a reason to fight. It's a call to battle. It's a chance to find our true self, our soul, if you will. But let's call a spade a spade. Cancer is mean. It's relentless. It's horrible. It's a disease that wants to destroy anything and everything in its path. It wants to destroy everyone in its path. Can I get an amen on that? Is that not true? So we know what that feels like. I know what that feels like now. Yeah, here we are today, celebrating. We're survivors, right? We are survivors. Give yourself a hand for that. Cancer is taking its toll on every one of us. It's still taking its toll. There's no doubt about it, but we're here to celebrate something. We're here to remember. We're here to thank those that came along on this journey with us and prayed for us and fought for us. They stayed with us, they cared for us, and they never gave up on us. I want to say thank you to all of those people. And every one of those type of people is represented in this room today, family and friends and professional caretakers and the people that were opening and closing the gates for your car to come in. I'm praying for you. God bless you, Mr. Cunningham. I'm thinking, good Lord, where does this come from? It was amazing to me. Basically, I never felt so good about giving money to somebody to park my car. It was great. And I'm going to tell you that doesn't happen by accident, right? It doesn't. You met the team. This is one of the most humble gentlemen I've ever met. A brilliant, brilliant man. And just extremely humble. And I like him more every time I see him, every time I talk to him. And he doesn't really have time. I don't know when he finds time to say hello to us. But he does. And he does it to everybody. And it's not a mistake that this staff is together. One of the overwhelming things in life that always has jumped out at me, always. And I think my grandmother was one of the big ones that taught me that. My parents, of course. I grew up in a small town. Aunt Bee, you may have heard of her, and Opie, and that. It was just a wonderful, delightful place. And I really thought the whole world was like that. And I really thought Ozzie and Harriet were real people. And I really thought life took place like that. I promise you, when I went to school, there was never a more naive human being in freshman class than me. It was amazing to me what the real world's like. But the thing that keeps coming back to me that I've watched over the years, that I've seen, that I believe in, is we are all in this together. I don't care what nation, I don't care what ethnicity, I don't care what your persuasion politically is, religiously is. We're in this thing together. And this, what we've been through, what we're coming through, reminds us of that. We're in this thing together. The English poet John Donne penned it this way: no man is an island unto himself. I hated all of that stuff when I had to study it, but it's coming back and I'm saying, oh, yeah, that's what that meant. Actually, he tied it into more the politics of the day, but it's apropos, it works. We're all in this together. We're all a part of the whole, and the whole is part of all of us. It took everything that's going on here to put me up here today, to give me the opportunity to do this. And like I said, I don't take that lightly. I don't. I want to represent you well. I want to represent this institution well. So this is the place. Here are the connecting themes. And I'm going to move fast through these 5 things. And each one of these, I want to touch you personally, everybody in this room. If I didn't, let me know when we get finished. And the next time I'll do better. I promise you. Here's where we intersect in this place today. Here's the connecting themes: sickness, craziness, compassion, hope. Did you get your picture taken with your hope thing? That's the coolest thing. And hope, and then excellence. I'm going to start with sick. How sick does somebody have to be to say something insanely stupid like, having cancer is one of the best things that ever happened to me? Have we not said it? We've said it. Are we sick? We knew we were sick when we got in here, right? Sick people say that kind of stuff. What kind of human being says that? And yet many of us have made that statement, and here's the thing. I'm crazier than that, I think. I hope you're not as crazy as I am. I was teaching a Sunday school class. I didn't tell anybody I had cancer. Didn't tell anybody about any of this stuff. Came in, got checked in, was amazed at the way people care about people around here. They're real people. They're real caring people. They're real smart, caring people. I didn't think smart people cared about anything. You know, I hung out with dumb people my whole life, and I thought that's the only people that cared. But this group of people, it's unbelievable what they go through to make these magical things happen for us. And so anyway, I say to my Sunday school class, because I'm going to be out a couple of weeks, possibly. I guess I'm thinking I'm Superman. I'm just going to go out and walk out and it's done. You know, and hopefully you live. I really did. I didn't study it. My wife studied it ad nauseum. And I told her, I want to hear it. Janice, friend of ours, you met her up here. She sends me these cards and tells me, oh, I don't want to read this stuff. I want to know this stuff. You know, I just want to, you know, God, I'm ready. If you want to take me, I'm good. I've had a good life. If you don't, I'll stay around. Please make it as painless as possible. I hate pain, hate needles. And this is the first time I've come in there, I think, without getting a needle. I like that. And I'm surprised they didn't get blood, aren't you? But anyway, and they make the ouch go away, which is wonderful. But anyway, I said to my Sunday school class, with every ounce of sincerity I can muster, I am so excited about what God's getting ready to show me. I'm really looking forward to this. And I'm in it. I'm crazy. I will never say that again. Never. It's not smart. These people are smart. That's not smart. That's sick. That's crazy. So crazy. How crazy do you have to be to dedicate your life to working day in and day out in an institution? First of all, I hate that word, institution. Because it's University of Tennessee Cancer Institute. That's an institution. I don't like it. They scare me. How crazy to dedicate your life to caring for, trying to heal people as sick as the people that we are and that we just described. What kind of person chooses a career path that puts them square in the center of chaos of other people, overwhelmed with their new set of life-altering circumstances and not sure how to cope with them? Remember that? We're not sure how to cope. We need help. We need people counseling us. And then we get too much counsel. And then everybody has the answer, right? It's unbelievable. So what should we do? Cower down and give up? Should they cower down and give up? Or us? They're dealing with us. Or should we fight the battle of our lives with every ounce of strength and willpower that we can beg, borrow, and steal? And so all of a sudden, this is a negative world, negative circumstances. And somehow, it's got to be bathed in positive energy, right? Boy, there's an energy in this place. The first time I walked in, when I drove up, I'm telling you, when the thing went up, when you get in, they're smiling at you. I'm thinking, what is that all about? Then I started thinking, oh, I know what that's about. It's going to cost somebody a lot of money. You know? But we already checked the insurance and got this thing. I don't know if you can get in, but I don't know any of that stuff. My wife took care of that on the other end. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. But everybody smiled. Everybody. And I'd love to mention their names, but I'll forget somebody, so I'm not going to. When they're taking your blood, they're smiling. They're nice. I'm thinking, what is going on here? I told my wife, I don't know what just happened. I said, this is something's not right. It's not the way I pictured it. So how much positive mental energy and how good of an attitude does one have to have when you deal with cancer? And you have to cover other people's fear of the unknown, where every breath is compressed, just to get through one more step of this battle. What kind of people sign up for that? They don't know what your future looks like. They're going to give you everything they've got. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They're going to give you everything they've got, but they don't know. They don't have a crystal ball either. They've studied, they're smart. They got the best leading technologies. I'm in some meetings now, I get to listen to some of that stuff. It blows my mind what goes into before we ever show up here. What goes on behind the scenes before we get here. And so we wrestle with fear of the unknown, the guilt of letting our loved ones down. You remember that? Man, that was big for me. I thought I'm supposed to be the strong one. And all of a sudden you can't. You can't be the strong one. The stress of unfinished business. I'm a businessman. I have a plan. I have everything charted out in front of me. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but if I do so many things right, generally it works out this way. And if it doesn't, I miss a cell. Sorry about that if I missed you. But that's it. That's it. Nothing bad happens to anybody. Okay? But all of a sudden, did I leave something undone? Did I leave something undone for my family? The shame of being such a burden on those who care for us, both family and caretakers. These precious little fragile-looking creatures that just keep coming back. You want a warm blanket? Did y'all get your warm blanket? That blew my mind. And when that one got cold, there was another warm one right behind it. It's unbelievable. And then you got a chaplain coming in and praying for you. And I'm thinking, I need to pray for them. They're getting beat up, you know, because of us, because of our needs, because of the demands of our family, trusting them so much and not getting the answer that they want all the time, because the answers don't always come back that way. So, what kind of people, how crazy do you have to be a professional like that? Thank you for crazy professionals. Where do they come from? I ask myself that. Why do they do it? Why do they care? How do they hold up? I pray like crazy for them. How do they hold up? How do they hold up? God help them hold up. And thank you for it. And what does Renee, what do their families give up? They just don't get them. Dr. Bertolli, good Lord, I don't think he goes home. I mean, I'm glad he got help, but I don't think he does. And then he follows you into the elevator and prays for you. I'm thinking, what in the world? I said, how much is that? How much does that cost? Anyway, these are no ordinary people. And then the intersection of compassion. Where does compassion come from that fuels this demanding physical, emotional, intellectual, and energy-exhausting drain on our loved ones? Remember that, for better or worse? To me, I paid attention to that, by the way. I looked at her and I paid attention to that. But that's a great romantic notion. So I just want to be a great romantic. You know, and it's easy. My wife, she does all the heavy lifting on it, and she makes sure it happens. And all I got to do is just show up. And if my armor is not shiny, she's already had it sent out and buffed up, and it looks good. I mean, it just works. And so, but I remember saying that. But now it's surreal. Now when you hear those words, cancer, it's for real. The worst has happened, sure to their promise. I may step up, and they step in and they fight. They fight with everything in them, all the while concealing their own fears so they can be strong for us. I got a little bitty 5-pound, 2-foot-high bride, you know. She's mean now, she's tough. But she looks like she'd break, and she's fighting for me. She's fighting too close to me. I'm saying, get out of the room. I don't know if you are that way. I'm not nice when I'm sick. I don't want anybody. I don't want a bowl of soup. I don't want any water. I want, turn the light off, please. Just let me be a baby. Just let me, whatever it is you do. Just let me do that. I'm trying to be strong for you. If you stay in here for 5 more minutes, you're going to see I'm not. So please get out of here. And anyway, compassion, that's compassion. They conceal their fears, they hold up for us, they put their needs aside, they hide the agony that they're going through as they worry themselves sick over us. And I believe they have it much harder than we do. I really do. I don't know if you cared for somebody. I don't know those of us that are survivors, if you saw it, but I saw they, I think they've got it worse than we do. And yet they summons the strength, resolve, and genuine concern to stand in the gap, not only for us, but with us. And so, again, I felt unworthy. I felt guilty. Why do they love me now? I understand it when I'm standing tall, when I've just got you that new shiny ring, you know, and when I say we're going to go on a cruise. I got that. I mean, I like it too, but I'm really doing it for you, baby. Because I don't know about diamonds. I don't think they're worth that, but, you know, man, them cruises are expensive, even on sale. You know, that's what a guy thinks. At least that's what this guy thinks. I'm thinking, good Lord. And I always wrap it something really holy, like, you know, we could give that to the homeless. We could give that to the poor. And I used to think my wife didn't care about them as much as I did. But that's not true. It's not true. They stand and they fight for us. And then that part about two becoming one flesh, that's the romance. When you're at your worst, and we've been there, we've survived it, but they stood by us. That's true romance. That's like the Notebook romance. That's good stuff. If you haven't seen that, check it out. That's good stuff. I told my wife when I saw that, I cried like a little baby. We saw the premiere of it in Vegas with the stars there, and I cried like a baby. When the lights came on, I was super embarrassed. And she said, what got to you? I said, I'm not that guy. That's who I want to be. When she couldn't do anything else, he never abandoned her. And we felt that happen with her. We've survived and we felt that. So compassion and hope. Hope transcends the darkness. That's what hope does. It transcends the darkness. It transcends the conclusion that it's over. All the evidence may say so, but hope says no. It's not over. It's not over. Hope breathes life into the notion that somehow what each of our caregivers do matters in the overall scheme of things. Hope compels, it encourages, it pushes, pulls, lifts, it sustains us when every other avenue has exhausted itself. When everything stacks up against us and the overwhelming verdict is that there's just no use continuing the fight, hope refuses to quit. So hope is God's gift when everything else fails. Hope's the precursor and the sustainer of faith. Hope is the light in the darkness. Where there's hope, there's a way. And then finally, commitment to excellence. And I include that because of these real people, because of these real caring professionals, because of these real smart, caring professionals who are dedicated to excellence. I get to sit in and observe. I don't have anything to contribute to an advisory board and I get to hear what goes on. And I'm telling you, it's not a slogan that they say, a commitment to excellence. It's a commitment to excellence, whatever it costs. And I'm looking around at lots of people that I've met through that, and people that cared for me, they're committed to excellence. They're without giving up the humanity, the genuineness, the caring, the sincerity. So it's a tribute to our host today, the University of Tennessee Medical Center, Medical Institute, which has dedicated itself to excellence and has manifested itself through the best of professionals, the best of facilities, the new wing equipment, and the best of results. This does not happen accidentally. It does not happen without great intention and plans and commitment and effort. And it does not happen without great leadership, vision, and attention to detail. The University of Tennessee Medical Center is a beacon on the hill in a dark world of cancer, and each of us has found a refuge in this light. We're blessed to have this right here in our own backyard. Couldn't be any easier. 4 miles down the road. I like it. combining hope with caring professionals, compassionate family and friends, commitment to excellence. And today we celebrate the result, which is us, survival. We celebrate that. We made it. So we gather to celebrate, to refocus our lives in gratitude to things and people that matter, and to enter into a combined agreement to fight for those coming behind us, in memories of those who didn't make it and fought before us, who made our journey easier, with determination to beat this enemy and help these incredible, excellent, caring, compassionate professionals find new careers with less darkness and many, many, many more bright and glorious days. So we celebrate. This is a celebration. We celebrate love and dedication, talent, tenacity of our friends and family who follow along with us and for us. We celebrate our new family and friends who became so near and dear to us that they gave their all in preparation of duty to heal us and to mend us when we were broken and we were feeling beyond repair. Congratulations to all of you, my fellow survivors. It's been a battle of our lives. It's been no small task. So let the best part of our celebration be the renewed lives of purpose and gratitude that we live from day to day. And let's make our lives count. Many, many, many people have invested theirs in ours. Thank you for coming in. Congratulations on surviving.
Thank you, Roger. Not much else to say after that.